सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् रे रे 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम् रे रे 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयम्
Namaskaram, Raj.
Namaskaram, namaskaram. Yeah. Audio is namaskaram. Audio is okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarva Samshaya Chettaram Sachidananda Vigraham Sada Susmera Vadanam Balakrishnam Namamyaham Vidyaranyad Vaidyad Vyadheriva Bhavasya Hi Vinutyai Pathyanyaswadyantam Panchadasi Prakaranani Bhakshyani. Namaskaram to all, and we have been discussing Panchadasi Thatwa Viveka Prakaranam, the first chapter. So we have completed up to verse number 54. So Vidyaranya Swami has been explaining about the process Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. After clarifying about the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, the Jiva Brahma Aikyam, that Jivan is nothing other than Brahman at all times, yesterday, today and tomorrow, and at all times. So there is not, Jivan is not becoming Brahman, or Jivan is not turning to Brahman. Okay, Jivan just realizes that Jiva is Brahman. Jiva is not merging with Brahman. Okay, it's not merging, it is not becoming, but Jivatma is Paramatma. Okay, so that point already Vidyaranya Swami explained in the previous verses, and then explained about Shravanam, listening to the Vedanta. Repeated listening is required, and then Mananam. What is Mananam? Reasoning, with the proper reasoning, removing all the doubts regarding Brahman, intellectual clarity, intellectual understanding. So there is no doubt that what is Jivatma, what is Paramatma, etc. There is no doubt. There is no doubt in understanding. Now the third part, Nididhyasanam. In the 54th verse, Vidyaranya Swami explains about what is Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means Vedantic meditation. Okay, the Vedantic meditation is not to it is to remove obstacles. It is not to clear the doubts. Okay, doubts are already cleared in the previous verses. Doubts are already cleared, and here through Vedantic meditation or through Nididhyasanam, it removes the obstacles. What is the obstacle? The lack of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. We explained that in our last class in detail. So removal of all the obstacles. The jnanam is there, like in an overhead tank, there is sufficient water, and the tap is also open, but the water is not flowing because there is some obstacle. So once the obstacle is removed, then the water starts flowing freely. So like the jnana phalam. Okay, the jnana phalam. What is the jnana phalam? Shanti. Shanti is the jnana phalam. That shanti is anandam. That will be available in full at all times. Okay, so that is what is the result of Nididhyasanam. So Nididhyasanam is a process of meditation. It's a Vedantic meditation. So that also we explained in our previous class. What are the methods to the process of Nididhyasanam? Satsangam. Okay, we have to meet with the Sat, people who have Brahmajnanam or who have this Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti in abundance. With those people we should mingle and discuss Tat Chintanam, Tat Kathanam, Anyonyam, Tat Prabodhanam. Only talk about God, only talk about Atma, Paramatma, etc. No other discussion regarding the material world. No discussions about that, about this problem, that problem, etc. How to solve it this way, that way. No, only Vedantic discussion. Through Vedantic discussion, we can try to understand the life. That is not a problem. But Vedanta should be the foundation or the main subject matter of any discussion. Tat Kathanam. Okay, that other than that, all the Laukika matters, etc. are to be avoided. They are not Satsanga, even if it is in a temple. So, Satsangam, then reading Shastram again and again, repeated reading of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, commentaries, listening to the commentaries, all that. Okay, it will help. Then living alert. Okay, always alert. Alert means watch the mind. You are watching the mind, whether my mind is losing its peace of mind, whether I am losing peace, that is constantly observing and analyzing it. That also will help. That will help. All that we discussed. All this will improving, acquiring sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, and also those who have sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, it improves, and also it helps to maintain the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So Nididhyasanam, Dhyanam, meditation maintains the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, those who have obtained. Next, so in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Bhagavan explains, Sri Krishna Bhagavan explains about a posture, asanam. Sit in a comfortable place, in a comfortable posture, and then with the minimum disturbances, etc. Okay, the eyes can be fully closed or half closed, and turn the attention of the mind. Okay, so when you turn your attention, turn your attention to the mind, thoughts will arise. So this thought should be on Atma alone. So initially it will be difficult. Initially the mind will dwell upon Bhagavan, and after a few seconds it will wander to other material world. Material world means all problems, anxieties, etc. Okay, all the problems of our daily issues, whatever issues, every individual will have their own issues. So mind will dwell upon all those things, but slowly you bring it back to Atma. On what? Based on the Vedantic knowledge that we already got through the Sravanam and Mananam. That is very important. Through there is no doubt now. So Nididhyasanam already Vidyaranya Swami explained, there is no doubt now regarding Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, etc. There is no doubt. So without any doubt, the knowledge that is already established, using that as a tool, bring the mind to equanimity, bring the mind to peace. Okay, so that is what is told by Shanai Uparamed. Slowly. Shanaihi means slowly, very, very slowly. Uparamed, you withdraw. Then Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya, then Atma Samstham Manah Krutva. Keep the mind focused on Atma alone. The mind in Atma alone, Atma Samstham Manah Krutva, na kinchidapi chintayed. There is no other thought. Na kinchidapi chintayed means no, don't think about all the other things. If at all the mind starts thinking, bring it back into Atma based on the Vedantic knowledge. This is called Vedantic meditation. Sitting in a posture. Then a next question, is it really important that we should sit only? Can we walk? Definitely we can walk. Okay, we can do walking, we can do running, or you can do other household work, or all that is possible. Swimming you can do. So it is not the external action that is important. What is important is the mind should stay in Atma. Atma Samstham Manah Krutva. The mind is dwelling on that. Okay, actions, whatever you are doing naturally, okay, we see to do a morning walk we are going, you don't need too much of your mind on that, right? You just walk, right? So that is not a problem at all. So naturally whatever things we are doing, it is possible. But just see that can you keep the mind focused on Atma? That is the mandatory requirement. Okay, so that is more important than what you do. You can lay down, lying on the bed with the closed eyes or open eyes, on your side, these things are not important. But it helps for some people to sit in a particular posture, comfortable posture, and do with less disturbance. It is possible. Some others, it may be walking. They can do meditation while walking also. So all these are not prohibited, but mandatory. Definitely the mind should be dwelling on Atma. So whatever action that you are doing, it is okay. If you are able to keep the mind in Atma, that is necessary. That alone is Vedantic meditation. That is Dhyanam. And the thoughts already we discussed, the thoughts can be on two things. Either it can stay on Atma, God. See, Atma means God, okay? Don't get confused. Ishvara, Bhagavan. Keep the mind focused on Bhagavan, or the mind can wander on everything else. All other problems of this world, it can dwell. So these two things, the mind will start shifting. So then we know that the futility, the it's waste thinking about all the jada vastu, the names and forms. Why it is not important? Because the names and forms are temporary. It is of transient nature. We cannot depend permanently on that. It will disappear. All that will disappear, or there will be separation. Through separation, it will disappear. So this is very important. With this, that is called vairagyam. With this, keep the mind focused on Ishvara, Atma alone, because Atma is always there. Okay, which is never born, which never dies. So that is the only thing which is real, that alone exists here, and all the names and forms are appearance on this Atma, and I am that Atma. Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, keep this thought. This is the process of Nididhyasanam. Aham Brahmasmi. Jiva Brahma Aikyam. So, there will be a flow of thoughts. As we discussed, the first thought, Aham Brahmasmi. Immediately the mind, suppose it is wandering somewhere. Okay, think about it. Based on Vedantic knowledge, okay, this is not important. This is of transient nature. It appears and it disappears, etc. Bring the mind back to Ishvara, Bhagavan alone. So, like that, when the thoughts come, the first thought is Aham Brahmasmi. Slowly, the second thought also will be Aham Brahmasmi. Third also Aham Brahmasmi. Like that, the Aham Brahmasmi thought will flow continuously. That flow of thoughts, always one after the other. Okay? One after the other, all the thoughts that arise is Aham Brahmasmi, is called Ekatanatvam. Ekatanatvam in the verse number 54. I will read again. Tabhyam nirvichikitserthe chetasasthapitasya yat ekatanatvametadhi nididhyasanamuchyate. Ekatanatvam, one pointedness of the mind. Okay, that is Nididhyasanam. This convergence is called Nididhyasanam. The focus of all the thoughts into one. That is Nididhyasanam. Keep the mind focused only on Ishvara. That is Ekatanatvam. That is Nididhyasanam Uchyate. Like, you have a lens. Through the lens, when the sun rays come, it gets focused on one thing. Right? When it gets, in the childhood and all, we used to play. It's some paper or something, it catches fire and all. So, the lens, it focuses, it converges all the rays into one point. Similarly, all the thoughts are focused only on one thought, that is Atma, Ishvara alone, Brahman alone. That is called Nididhyasanam. This is the Nididhyasanam. So here this effort is required. Okay, effort is needed here. We have to use the buddhi. Buddhi means you have to use the buddhi, you have to use the willpower, you need effort to keep the mind focused, because the mind wanders, the mind wanders, the mind goes here and there, so you have to bring it back. This bringing it back, you need will. You need will, mean effort, that is what. So it is not an effortless thing, it is with effort you bring it back into Aham Brahmasmi thought. Aham Brahmasmi thought. When this is practiced for long time, the practice of Nididhyasanam for long time. So initially, morning half an hour of meditation is done, and if possible in the evening, half an hour of meditation, and afternoon also some people do meditation. See, this is there in the community, Brahmin community, they do Sandhya Vandanam 3 times. So 3 times Sandhya Vandanam, this is there. This Aham Brahmasmi thought is there. Asavadityo Brahma, Brahmaiva Hamasmi, 3 times. 3 times means morning, afternoon, and evening. So, like that, it is not necessary that you have to be a born Brahmin to have this Nididhyasanam. Anyone who understands Vedanta can stay with the thought of Aham Brahmasmi in the morning half an hour, or if possible in the evening also, or at least once in a day do this meditation of Aham Brahmasmi, and during the time, whatever action that we do, keep the mind focused on this Vedantic thought. Okay, as we discussed, it is not necessary that you should sit in a posture only. We can sit in a posture and do Nididhyasanam. Other than that, during whatever job you are doing, if you are cooking in the kitchen or if you are working in the office, whenever possible, okay, during the process also, you keep the thought that Aham Brahmasmi. This is what Krishna said, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. Hey Arjuna, you do Yuddham, you do this, you fight this war. But for him, fighting the war is his Swadharma. So Ma Manusmara, you think of me, you think of God. Similarly, you think of Bhagavan and do whatever you are. That is also Nididhyasanam. So Nididhyasanam need not be sitting alone. It will help. See, it is mutually helping each other. If we do Dhyanam in the morning half an hour and in the evening half an hour, and during other times, because of the sitting meditation that we do in the morning and the evening, it helps during the daytime. And during the other times, whenever we are using this Vedantic meditation, in whichever way possible, as we discussed, the mind dwelling on Bhagavan, it will improve the Nididhyasanam of the Ekanta meditation. Understand? So during the time of transaction, that is what I mean, during the time of transaction, when you are meeting people, working in the office or all that, during that time when we have this meditation, what will happen? The disturbances will reduce. Okay, the anxieties and the impact with which each situation bombards our mind, it will reduce. So this will indirectly help in the Ekanta meditation. This Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly said, one helps the other. So then what will happen? Slowly, all the thoughts, during all times, this Aham Brahmasmi thought with effort will continue. The flow of thoughts, that means the whole day will be in Vedantic meditation. Whether we are sitting Ekantam or whether we are in transaction, Aham Brahmasmi thought will continue. Even if there will be disturbances, there will be movement of when the mind was dragged out of this thought, it's okay. There is nothing to condemn on it. You can bring it back. So this is how we continue. So when this is practiced for a long time, what will happen? It will end in Samadhi. It will end in Samadhi. So here specifically says it is the Ekanta Dhyanam when we do. Again, during Ekanta Dhyanam, the mind wanders and you bring it back. Then constant thought of Aham Brahmasmi with effort will slowly lead to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay. Let us see what is the next verse says. So Dhyanam leads to Samadhi. See, we will read the sloka. 55th. Dhyatradhyane parityajya kramadhyeyaika gocharam nivata deepavachittam samadhirabhidhiyate. So, this japam, when you are doing japa, suppose you can do some japa. One second. So, when you are doing japam, sometimes Aghanda Nama Japam, etc. is there, or somebody who is, there are people, or we all chant some namas, like maybe Om Namo Narayanaya, or Om Namah Shivaya, or Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, any mantra, any sloka, or any one particular Ashtakshari, Panchakshari, like that, any Nama Japam, Narayana, Narayana, or Shiva, Shiva, etc. When we do this Japam all the time, okay, all the time, consciously, with effort, when we do this for a long time, then even when we are not chanting using the mind or using the lips, with the sound or without sound, automatically the japam will be going on inside. This we can experience if you do 24 hours of Akhanda Nama Japam, etc. With the momentum only, we all continue to chant that mantra. Right, in our village, there is a Akhanda Nama Japam is there. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Padita Pavana Sitaram. All the time we chant for 24 hours. So it will continue for another 1 or 2 days. Continuously we will be chanting that inside. So what I am trying to say is, this is called Ajapa Japam or Ajapa Japam. Okay, so that will end slowly. This Japam happens in the subconscious mind. It will go on chanting. Sometimes if you remember, suppose a new song has come, film song, let it be a film song. You keep on chanting or keep on singing that song for practice 1 or 2 days. After that, you will be walking, that song will play in the behind. Right? So that is also Ajapa Japam only. But there the Japam, Ajapa Japam is of no use actually. Whereas Aham Brahmasmi thought, which will be useful. That is the only difference. So here, Dhyatra Dhyane Parityajya Kramadhyeyaika Gocharam Nivata Deepavachittam Samadhir Abhidiyate. So, one important thing we have to remember is that Nididhyasanam is meant to remove the blocks. Nididhyasanam is not something to establish jnanam, or in other sense, some people misunderstand that through Nididhyasanam, Dhyanam, some mystical experiences will happen. Some mystical experiences will happen, and then that mystical experience will confirm that I have got jnana. It is a wrong understanding. Okay? It is wrong understanding. There are certain symbols might come, like it is called Anahata Dhvani. Anahata Dhvani. Anahata Dhvani means some lights can be, the people see some lights, or some beautiful music they hear, or some fragrance of some jasmine flowers, etc. might they feel. All these can happen in such Nididhyasanams, Sadhyanams, but they are not mandatory. And they don't confirm that there is jnanam or anything. They are good symbols, there is no doubt. It is the signal given by Bhagavan that you are in the right path. It gives a signal that you are in the right track. But don't look for that. Don't look for some light to come. Don't look for some lightning things to come. Or don't look for some fragrance or some sounds, etc. Don't look all this. Okay? It might come, it might not come. So, okay, this why this is there are these are all explained. Anahata Dhvani. So don't worry about all this. They come, they go. Don't get stuck over there. Don't think that okay, I got it. Okay. So that is not such experiences are not jnanam. They are good. They are good. They are good symbols. It might come, it might not come. It might come one day and then it will never come. Okay. Or it might not come for some at all. That's okay. That's not a problem. So, but what we should do is, we continue the practice of Sravanam, continue the practice of meditation. Okay, Mananam is over. So by sometimes Sravanam, not sometimes, Sravanam is as a way of meditation, a way of nididhyasana. Okay, right. The Sravanam also, when the disturbances are becoming less and less, the Sravanam becomes more intent. Okay. Initially, when we all sit for some satsang or some discourse, we will be listening for 10 minutes, and 10 minutes we will be looking around, see others what they are doing, etc. And then again we come back, another 10 minutes we will concentrate, and then we will listen for some time, again our mind will wander here and there, and again we will come back. But over a period of time, our listening or the focus on the talk will increase. That is the time people say that, oh, now the Guru is giving lecture better, the lecture has become better. Now Guru is not like before, now he is giving good lecture. Earlier he was saying this and that, but now he is more focused. But actually it is not the Guru's class. Guru's class was the same only. But our focus increased. This will happen when the disturbances are reducing, when the obstacles are reduced. What will happen is our focus will increase, our addiction to satsang increases. We would like to go for the satsang more and more. We would like to listen to Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, etc. more and more. That is the indication that the obstacles are getting reduced and the thought Aham Brahmasmi is slowly getting established. Okay, that is a signal. So, here we will come to the verse now. Dhyatra dhyane. Both the dhyata and dhyana. Dhyata means one who is meditator, the meditator, and the dhyanam, the thought. Okay, the thought. Kramat parityajya, dropping both the dhyata and dhyanam. How to explain this? Okay. Assume you are listening to a beautiful Carnatic music, some song. You like music. You are listening to a song, Carnatic music song. Just think what I am saying. When you are really enjoying the music, okay, when you are really enjoying or when you are immersed in the music, do you have a thought that I am enjoying? When you are listening, again I will repeat, when you are listening to a beautiful song which you like, when you are immersed in the song, do you ever think that I am enjoying the music, when you are absorbed in the music? No. When you are really totally absorbed, you forget yourself. That is what we always say, oh, I was totally immersed in that. I forgot myself. These are the words we speak, right? These are that is how we feel. That means what happens? The dhyata and the dhyanam, the thought also is vanished. There is no thought that I am enjoying, and there is no one who is the enjoyer. Both they disappear, and what will remain is only the object. The object means here the song or the merge in the song. They all become one. Only what remains is the enjoyment. Right? So that sukham only remains. There is no meditator. There is no thought. Okay? So this is what Vidyaranya Swami says, Kramat Parityajya. dropping both these respectively. Respectively means first dhyata and then dhyanam. Respectively, dhyayaika gocharam. Only the object, only the dhyayam. Meditating. Here what is the subject? What is the subject? Brahman alone. In the earlier case, song, enjoying a music, the thing is only the song. Here it is Brahman, Atma. This is the difference. When you are totally absorbed in a song, it is samadhi. You are in samadhi. But the problem there is the song ends. The moment the song is over, you are back. You are back into the problems. Right? You are back into the samsara. That is what I mean. Whereas in this meditation, then in this samadhi, that samadhi which is nirvikalpa samadhi, in that samadhi, the subject on which the meditation happening is Brahman, Atma. Okay? When it becomes so natural, totally absorbed in Atma, how Nivata Deepava Chittam. The Chittam, the mind, becomes like an unflickering flame. A flame which is there breezeless, Nivata. Nivata means there is no wind. Okay? No breeze, no wind. In that place, how a flame of a lamp will remain like that. Unflickering flame, like an unflickering flame, not moving like this, steady, the mind will become, and that state is called samadhi. Samadhi abhidiyate is known as samadhi. So, what is samadhi? Samadhi is when the mind is unflickering. Unflickering means established in one thought, aham brahmasmi, but there is an absence of, see, aham brahmasmi thought is there, but there is no one who is thinking aham brahmasmi. Means there is no effort to think aham brahmasmi. So to reach that state, we need a lot of willful thoughts of aham brahmasmi required for sufficiently long time to reach to the state of non-will thought. There is no effort. Effortless thought. Okay, thought is there in the subconscious mind, but there is no effort in it. The example given is, suppose you are doing bicycle, okay, you are pedaling a bicycle. You are doing pedaling, but after some time, even if you stop pedaling, the cycle goes forward in its momentum. Effortless. There is no effort. There is no thought. There is no forceful thought. Okay, there is no will involved. Buddhi is not necessary there. Okay, so that state is called samadhi. Means what? Naturally you are in samadhi. Naturally, effortlessly you are in the thought of aham brahmasmi. That means you are Brahman. That is what is the nirvikalpa samadhi or nirvikalpaka samadhi. See, one Swamiji was saying that naturally we are in the samadhi of anxious moments. Anxiety is the natural state. Naturally people are anxious. Effortlessly. Okay. Here naturally established in Brahman. That is the difference between these two. We are experts in naturally anxious, effortlessly. You don't need forcefully, you don't have to bring some problem in front of you. The problem naturally comes. Okay? Whereas effort is needed to stay with the thought Aham Brahmasmi or Satchidananda Rupoham Asangoham 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 Punah Punaha Satchidananda Rupoham Ahamevaham Avyayaha. So like that, such thoughts we have to force, means with effort we need. When this is practiced for a long time, we reach the Samadhi state. That is the Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. So, Dhyatra Dhyane Parityajya, by dropping both the Dhyata and the Dhyanam, Kramadhyayeka Gocharam, only Dhyayeka Gocharam, only the Vishayam, the object, here it is Brahman, that alone remains. Nivata Deepava Chittam, the Chittam becomes steady, unflickering, and that Samadhi Abhidiyate. That state is called, or that is known as Samadhi. So, Nididhyasanam leads to Samadhi. Okay. Now, let us move to the next verse, 56. Vrittayastu tadanim ajnata apyatma gocharaha smaranadhanumiyante vyutthitasya samuthitat. Correct, no? 55 we did finish? Yeah, correct. Vrittayastu tadanim ajnata apyatma gocharaha smaranadhanumiyante vyutthitasya samuthitat. Tadanim. Tadanim means at the time of this Nirvikalpa Samadhi Avastha. Nirvikalpaka Samadhi Avastha. Atma Gocharaha Vrittayaha. Vrittayaha means the subtle thoughts. Okay, the subtle thought. The thoughts are there, but they are subtle. The subtle thoughts, Atma Gocharaha. I mean, the subtle thoughts which do not require the backing of the will, or effortless. I mean, backing of the will means, which do not require the backing of the will, means effortless. The subtle thoughts which are effortless, and Gochara, Atma Gocharaha, which is always thinking of Bhagavan or Atma. The non-will backed Sukshma Vrittis, that dealing with Atma, as I explained earlier, Satchidananda Rupaha, Aham, Asangoham, okay, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. All these thoughts are there, but in subtle nature, which do not require an effort, which is there, hidden inside. See, this, during our deep sleep also, there are thoughts. In subtle form. Thoughts are there, but those thoughts are effortless thoughts. Effortlessly, the thoughts are there inside us. Those thoughts are about what? Ajnana. There in the Sushupti, okay, in Sushupti, there is a hidden vasanas are there. We call it as vasana. What is that hidden thing? Ajnanam. What is Ajnanam? Ignorance. What is ignorance? Aham Brahmasmi, I don't know. Okay. Or in other words, Aham, I am this body. I am attached to this. I am attached to that. Without which I will be happy, unhappy, etc. All these are bundled up thoughts in our deep sleep. Whereas, means ignorance. Ignorance is the thought in deep sleep, Whereas here in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Atma Gochara Vrittihi. Okay, Atma Gochara Vrittihi, that is Aham Brahmasmi, Satchidananda Rupoham. These are there hidden. So what Vidyaranya Swami says, Vrittayastu Tadanim Ajnata Abhi Atma Gocharaha. This Atma Gocharaha Vrittayaha mean the subtle thoughts which do not require the backing of the will, Sukshma Vrittis, even though they are Ajnata. Okay, even though they are not evident, outwardly you cannot see that, but those vrittayas are there in the samadhi. I hope you are understanding, you are following. I am trying to explain the possible way. Okay, Atma Gocharaha vrittayaha means Aham Brahmasmi thoughts which are very subtle, they are Tadanim. In Tadanim means in this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Ajnata is not known outside. It is not that it is not there, it is there. The thoughts are there, but Ajnata. Same like in deep sleep, the thoughts are there, but we don't know it. When we get up, we say, I had a blissful sleep, we say. Right? Great sleep I had. But during the time, there is Ajnanam is there inside. Ajnanam means ignorance is there. Similarly, here Jnanam is there. That is the difference between these two. Okay. So in Samadhi, it is not Ajna, the thoughts are there. Aham Brahmasmi thoughts are there, even if they don't express. Okay. Because it is effortless, it is subtle. Then, Smaranad Anumiyante. Smaranad. By recollecting. That is, when we wake up, when I wake up from my deep sleep, I recollect the state of deep sleep as I was happy. Right? Similarly, one who wakes up from the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, it is called Vyutthanam. Vyutthanam is the word. Mean one who is in transaction. One who is in the transactional world or in this world. When one who wakes up from this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what he recollects, what will be the Smarana? See, you connect it with the deep sleep. When you wake up from the deep sleep, you say, I did not know anything, I had a blissful sleep. These are the two things we say. I had a fantastic sleep, I did not know anything. Here, what we say, I was in Ananda, but I did not know anything. No. I knew Aham Brahmasmi was there. That is a difference. Okay? I was absorbed in the Vedantic thought. That is the recollection. Okay? So the recollection, one who wakes up, the word wakes up means we always think of waking up from sleep, that sort of waking up we always remember. Here wakes up means when you are out of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi state. That is what it means. That is what waking up here. Okay. So during Nirvikalpa Samadhi, don't think that I was sleeping. It is not a sleep. It is not a sleep state. It is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi state where the thoughts are there, subtle, in the subtle nature, effortlessly in Atma. How connected with the listening to the music. How when we listen to the music, how we get absorbed in the song, we forget ourselves. Similarly, instead of music, it is Atma. Aham Brahmasmi was the thought which is subtle in nature, where it is blissful, but I knew Aham Brahmasmi. That is the difference between waking up from a deep sleep and waking up from or Vyutthitasya from the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So now again we will read Smaranad Anumiyante Vyutthitasya Samuthitad. I was absorbed in the Vedantic thought. Atma Gochara Smaranad. Atma Gocharam means Atma was the subject matter in the subtle thought. From the recollection, we make an inference. What is the inference? That I should have had the vritti during Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I come to a conclusion that I must have had the vritti. Vritti means thought. In subtle nature, what is that vritti? Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, so how to reach there? Effortfully, with the will, we have to work on Aham Brahmasmi. Understand? So, we have to constantly work through the thought that Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi Ekameva Dvitiyam Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Satchidananda Rupoham, all these. Okay? So, these I am Atma, Brahma, etc. Through these Vedantic Mahavakyas, that is Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Understand that this Jiva Brahma Aikyam thoughts constantly with the willpower, practiced for long time, repeatedly, will lead to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay, where there are thoughts which are subtle in nature, and that will be known as a recollection when we wake up from the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, or when we come out of the, that is a nice word, come out of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, that I had experience that Aham Brahmasmi. The deep sleep, they say, I did not know anything, because ignorance was there. Okay, this is the difference. Yeah. So, Tadanim, during Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Atma Gocharaha, Vrittayaha, Ajñataha, Abhi. Subtle thoughts, Aham Brahmasmi, Satchidananda Rupoham, etc. are not objectified. Okay, are not objectified there with effort. These thoughts are non-will backed, means naturally they are there. Okay, even when these subtle thoughts are not known, but they are there. It is not a lack of these thoughts, but they are there, but they are unknown. Vyuthyatasya means one who wakes up from there. Whoever after waking up or after coming out from the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we infer that I was in Ananda and the subtle thought was Aham Brahmasmi, but not aware that such a thought existed in that time. During the time I am not aware that Aham Brahma. See, to be aware that Aham Brahmasmi, you need the buddhi or you need an effort, where it is effortlessly Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, right. I explained sufficient. We will go to verse number 57. Vrittinam anuvrittistu prayatnat prathamadapi adrishta sagradabhyasa samskara sachivat bhavet. Vrittinam anuvrittistu prayatnat prathamadapi adrishta sagradabhyasa samskara sachivat bhavet. So during Samadhi, there is no continuous Samadhi here means Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay, there is no continuous exertion of willpower to keep the mind fixed on the self. Self means Atma. But what works is the momentum. The momentum works. Say like suppose you do, our example of cycling, when you are pedaling, after some time you stop pedaling, it moves continuously. Right? The cycle moves effortlessly, easily. And what it depends on the momentum. How much force was given and how much with the force, how much is the speed with which it goes. It also depends on how much resistance it has got, is it not? If the resistance is so low, then with that momentum it will go infinite, is it not? See, in a case of cycle, bicycle, why after pedaling and stops it comes to a stop? Because of the resistance. Here the resistance is what? The resistance is the whatever vasanas are there inside, etc. are the resistance. If not, it will go on forever, is it not? Okay, coming back to our verse. So the Atma Vritti is initially entertained with willpower. Already we discussed. That is called, okay, these are the terms which it will be very easy for you to understand. It is called Savikalpaka Samadhi. Savikalpa Samadhi is, we need the effort. With effort, when you are in Samadhi, it is called Savikalpa Samadhi. Without effort, when you are in Samadhi, it is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So, Savikalpa Samadhi, you need the Buddhi. Buddhi to act. That is, effort is necessary. With effort, you keep the mind steady. Okay? That is Savikalpa Samadhi. Here also absorption is there. But I have to use my will. I have to use effort. I have to use my buddhi. But in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, will is not required. It is spontaneous and natural. Okay? That we discussed about how we worry naturally, etc. So that is a worrying part. Naturally we are worried. But in we are using that naturally worrying thing as naturally in Samadhi. Okay, this is all this I am saying for you to understand. Okay. So initially effort is needed. Later the vrittis will continue. Okay, the vrittis will continue. So a doubt might arise. What is a doubt? What is the guarantee that same vritti may continue? That means vritti means thought. Okay, vritti, don't get confused. Vritti means thought. The thought that if I stay with the thought of Aham Brahmasmi, that is Jiva Brahma Aikyam, means stay with the God. Okay, stay with the thought that Jiva and Brahman both are same. That is the main thing. So I am not going to the technical details of all this. All discussed earlier. Jiva Brahma Aikyam, etc. Okay. So the thought that I am the consciousness. If I keep this thought for a long time, what is the guarantee that this thought will be there in Nirvikalpa Samadhi? Will it not be some other thought? Right? See, for example, if you say, suppose there is a maid, okay, housemaid is there. When you are watching, the maid is cleaning, etc., very nicely and perfectly. But the moment you move away, not watching, she finishes all that within 5 minutes, all done. All rooms cleaning, everything is over. So, similarly, when I am watching myself, when I am watching my mind with effort, Aham Brahmasmi, very nice, the mind is staying at calm. The moment I move away, instead of Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Again, my mind is going after material things and anxious and all that drama starts coming. Will it not happen like that if I stay with Aham Brahmasmi for a long time? Is it not a possibility that way? That is a question. I will go to Brahman again in my Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Vidyaranya Swami says, no, you will not, it will not happen, for he gives 3 reasons. What are the 3 reasons? Prathamaha prayatnaha. That is what the first words. Vrittinam anivrittistu prayatnat pradhamadapi. So, the mind continues to be fixed in the Paramatma Bhagavan, in the state of Samadhi, as a result of effort of the will made prior to its achievement. That is what prayatnad pradhamadapi. So we discussed about how much force you are giving, how much intensely we are practicing. Okay. So the momentum of the initial deliberate vritti, example, how long the cycle will continue to move without pedaling depends on how much force is given, how much momentum you give to the bicycle. Similarly, how much momentum we give for to stay with the thought aham brahmasmi, or how long or how intensely we are able to give, that will depend. One factor, number one. The second is adrishtam. In the second verse you see adrishta asakrit abhyasa samskara. So adrishtam is one, second one. Third one is asakrit abhyasa samskara. That is third one. That we will discuss. What is adrishtam? Adrishtam, you know, adrishtam in Tamil also, adrishtam means punyam. Okay, punyam. See, in Yoga Shastra, punyam is divided into two punyams. One is shukla punyam. Punyam is divided in Yoga Shastra two. One is shukla punyam, the other is Krishna punyam somewhere, ashukla punyam. Ashukla punyam. Shukla means clean, clear. So, shukla punyam is, see, ashukla punyam is the punyam which one enjoys as material things. More money, good family, obedient children, obedient husband, obedient wife, all that. Okay. So a happy family, a lot of money, all circumstances are very nice. These are the material punya. There is another one which is called adrishtam. Okay, so these are drishtam, we know it, we can see. The other one is spiritual punyam. The spiritual punyam is the shukla punyam. Okay, how you get the shukla punyam? This adrishta punyam is by nishkama karma yoga janyam. It is we get this spiritual punyam by nishkama karma yoga. Okay, by through karma yoga only. Karma yoga additionally somebody put nishkama karma yoga janyam or nishkama upasana janyam. Through nishkama upasana or nishkama karma yoga, through that the fruits of such these two will lead to spiritual punyam. What is spiritual punyam? Spiritual punyam is the urge to sit in satsanga, the urge to listen to Vedanta more and more, the tendency to listen to Vedanta more and more. This is the result of nishkama karma yoga janyam and nishkama upasana, etc. Okay, nishkama means without any desire we do karmas. From that, whatever punya is coming, that leads to this. Okay, this punyam. And the third one is asakrit abhyasa samskaram. Yeah, that is what it is. The inclination, the spiritual inclination, shubhavasana, okay, that caused by repeated practice. Asakrit abhyasa samskaram. The repeated action, repeated practice. See, second I explained, adrishta punyam, okay, the spiritual through whatever through karma yoga, etc., whatever we get is the spiritual practice. The third one, we will finish this, I will take another 2 or 3 minutes only. Asakrit abhyasa samskaram, the inclination or the spiritual inclination, shubhavasana. See, vasana is both the shubha and ashubha. See, suppose you have coffee on the first day. Assume you have coffee in the first day. Will you have any addiction next day? You will not have any addiction. But you have this coffee. Coffee is just a term. Please don't misunderstand me. Please have coffee. There is no problem. Okay. So, but by having coffee continuously for a few days, you feel like having coffee at the same time right? That is a vasana. That is called addiction. Similarly, Shubha Vasana, listening to Vedanta, as we discussed earlier, listening for say 10 minutes, and even if you get distracted, still again after a few minutes again you concentrate, and again like that, slowly we develop an inclination to listen to Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Satsang, etc. more and more and more, and we become addicted to it. Okay, that is the asakrit abhyasa samskaram. Then sachivad, support, these support, see the last word, asdrishtad asagrat abhyasa samskara sachivat bhavet. Sachiva means is a minister actually, sachiva means minister. So it means supporting. Sachiva means who supports the king. Similarly here, sachivat bhavet, these three support. One is prayatnad, the with which how much effort you put, the momentum, etc. you remember. Second, the adrishtam, the punyam that we get through the karma yoga. And the third one is asagrat abhyasa samskaram. By repeated practice, samskara means inclination, abhyasa means practice, asagrat means repeated. Asagrat, repeated practice towards inclination or urge. Urge to do what? Urge to listen to Vedanta, or urge to stay with Vedantic thoughts, etc. These three helps to keep the vrittinam anivrittistu. That means these three will definitely help to make sure that whatever vritti you follow, whatever thought that you follow, what is the vritti that we follow? With effort we are thinking aham brahmasmi, that will be continued effortlessly. That is lead to nirvikalpa samadhi. So in that nirvikalpa samadhi also, the subtle thoughts that is there inside will be aham brahmasmi only. No other thought will come, no other disturbance will come, enter into this, if we keep practicing this consciously for long time, etc. So these three will help. Okay, prayatnam, adrishtam, and repeated practice. So that is what Vidyaranya Swami promises. So the mind, again I will read the meaning, the mind continues to be fixed in the Paramatma, Bhagavan, in the state of Samadhi as a result of effort of the will made prior to its achievement, helped by the merits of the previous births. Previous births means adrishtam, okay, all the nishkama karma, etc. It could be previous births or in this birth also. Then the third, the strong impression created through constant efforts. That means repeated practice. The third one, listening to Vedanta again and again and again, and the urge or the addiction to listen to this, and it increases. All these will help to keep the mind continues and to be fixed in the Paramatma. That is the state of Samadhi. Okay, so we will continue from 58th next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om.